So Sam, we unboxed the Corsair 2500D chassis last week.
We did indeed.
And we said that we are going to build something inside it. Let's go ahead and do that today.
Cool, so we've got components ready.
Yeah, this is what we're going to build with. Let's go ahead and start and introduce that. So this is the MSI Project Zero motherboard. This is the one that we're going to use, which has all the connectors on the back side.
Indeed.
For a good, nice, clean setup. And then we've got some Corsair fans. Corsair sent this to us.
Yeah,
this is the new IQ Link where they magnetically sort of connect to each other.
Nice,
So you don't need to power every single one of them, which is quite nice. What's the big daddy we have in front?
We have the 7900 XTX.
Damn, that's a big daddy of Radeon.
Oh yes.
It's about the best. So that's the AIO that we have. It's a 360mm AIO with, again, IQ Link. So everything is magnetically connected and goes into the Corsair hub. To power everything else, we've got the Samsung SSD. It's a 990 Pro. It's a 1 terabyte. And for a processor of choice, it's the 14900 Intel Core i9.
Nice.
Top dog, again, nothing better than that. And finally, 64 gigs of DDR5. So it's going to be a nice big setup. What's going to be powering it?
A HX 1500i big boy.
Damn, so 1500 watts of power supply.
Oh yeah.
Nice. You know, just kind of looking at this makes me really want to come to this case because we're not going to get to see any of this.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome
stuff. Well, let's go ahead and build it. So in case any one of you is cringing out there thinking that tempered glass, we've placed a motherboard on that, don't worry, protection layer is still on top. This is still as good as new, right Sam?
We also have the ports on the back.
That's true, they kind of hold that a little bit as well. Okay. So we can do a little bit of nothing. So now that the motherboard is secured with 3 screws.
Just
We've
3.
got places for 7, but we only chose to do 3 this time. Who cares about the rest of the 4, right? No worries, no big deal. All right, so let's go ahead and flip this over and install all the cabling next.
Perfect.
All right, so Sam, we're looking at some power connectors here.
Yes. You've got the ATX 24-pin, you've got SATA, all your headers on the board, all nice on the back, which looks fantastic.
We really like this MSI Project Zero. Everything is moved on the back side. I think it works out so nicely. Such amazing cable management. So we had a bit of a panic moment here.
We did.
The power supply we have is a full ATX.
The big daddy.
Absolutely. But then this does not look like a full ATX. What does this look like?
This is your SFX standard, which is even smaller.
Excellent.
But nice that it actually has a bracket, so you can just literally remove the bracket and then you can fit your standard form factor power supply.
Let's go ahead and do that next. So we're really pushing it over here, installing this large power supply in such a small chassis. It's coming out ever so slightly from this edge. It's not blocking any connectors.
No.
Yeah, but in case you do want to build something on this level, just make sure that you choose a slightly smaller. I think 800 watt power supply is going to be more than enough for it.
It still fits, but like if you're doing something additional.
Absolutely. This is a gigantic one. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Unless if you want something bigger, then go for the 6500 and the series, which offers a lot more space. Yeah. Okay, so we've got everything in. The one thing that we realized while doing this is that we should always plug in the onboard headers for USB, etc., audio before we plug in the power supply. Because this is a small chassis, there's not much room for it afterwards. So if you're planning on doing this, what we'd recommend is put the power supply in the last.
Yes, save yourself the headache.
Yep. Let's go ahead and flip it over.
Cool.
So Sam, we've got a couple of options installing the AIO.
We do.
So we've got a top and a bottom. We can use either
and if you had a 240, you could use the front
as well.
But this is 360, so...
What do you recommend? Top?
I think top.
Let's do it. Sam, one of the other questions someone asked was if we can use this in a push-pull configuration.
Okay.
What that means is having 2 stacks of fans along with the radiator. Now, how much space do we have over here?
So we just measured it and it's about 60 millimeters.
Which I don't think is enough for a push-pull setup. It'll barely get us across this. So let's go ahead and measure this and then see if we're able to. So this is just about 6. So if we were to add another fan stacked on the other direction,
I'd say
that
it's
would
about, this is alone is 52 mil.
Yep.
And then you've got 60. So
not going to be enough.
Not going to
No,
be possible.
You're not going to be able to install that on there.
Yep.
All right, so we've got this completed now.
All done.
As you can see, there are no cables other than these that are coming to the GPU, which unfortunately there's not much that we can do to avoid.
Sure.
Now, this is the Radeon card and it's got 3 standard PCIe connectors. I think NVIDIA's got something which is a much smaller, neater cable, just a single cable solution that kind of goes down.
Or you could go with the cable mods and
That's true.
make a custom cable.
That is true. That is true. That could also work out. Other than that, look at that, like no other wires. You know, it's a fairly clean setup.
Looks
Again,
super clean.
Yeah, so this is the 2500D, which is for the smaller chassis builds, micro ATX, mini ITX. So in case you guys want some more space, go for the 6500.
Okay.
But for a smaller case, this is all right. Yeah,
I think
we didn't
this
mind
is
it.
kind of like at a sweet spot. It's not too small that it's
Correct.
unbelievably awkward to deal with.
That's true.
It's like that nice sort of positioning. It's a little bit, but if you just, like I say, do the power supply beforehand,
Yep.
all of those kind of things, it's a good size.
No, absolutely. We like it. Let us know what you guys think. Is this something that's on your radar? You know, just follow, subscribe, and ask us any questions you have about this build or criticize us.